Good morning. So there's a specific part in this song I want to make sure you know about. You can sing the whole song, but there's one part where I would love to hear everybody. And it goes like this. When we sing, shining from the inside out, I'm so happy, I just want to shout. Yeah. Woo! I just want to shout. Oh, God, that'll do good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. Oh, and I'm shining from the inside out, I'm so happy, I just want to shout. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I said one life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. Oh, and I'm shining from the inside out, I'm so happy, I just want to shout. Woo! Oh, I'm shining from the inside out, I'm so happy, I just want to shout. Woo! One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I said God is all there is. Last time, God is all there is.
Good morning. I think we need one more shout for the band. Woo! Hi there. I am Jennifer Mann, and I'm welcoming you to the Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Rosa. I'm a former practitioner, a former board member, and I'm very happy to be here with you today. So, have you ever felt joy for the good fortune of your friends? Delight when you see them happy and fulfilled? Oneness invites us not to just know that we are connected, but to feel that connection through shared joy and happiness. So whether you're in the room right now or watching online, please know you are welcome here, where we aspire to share joy by honoring inclusion, equity, and diversity, always and forever. Please join me now in reading our mission. The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling global vision that inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. The more we can open our hearts, the more we are able to celebrate the joy and success of others. Joy expands from an individual experience to the whole community, and everyone's lives are uplifted. We open our hearts through our 5 spiritual practices. Will you please read those with me? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, and spiritual circulation. We would now like to extend a warm welcome to our first-time visitors. So first-time visitors, please stand or raise your hand, and we will bring you a flower and a welcome packet as a token of our gratitude that you are here with us today. If you're watching online for the very first time, would you let us know in the chat, because we're so grateful that you are here with us too. So I know that somewhere in the music, meditation, prayer, practices, and Dr. Edwards' message today, you will find exactly what you need to experience for the next step of your spiritual unfoldment. You are welcome here. Now, please enjoy some music before we spend our short time in silent contemplation and prayer.
I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love. I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love. I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love, surrendering in love, surrendering in love.
There is only one life, expansive, spacious, known by many names, but whatever name it is called, by whatever name it is known, it is absolute love. It is the ground of all being from which we came. It is the one creator, the one source, the one power. It is in many different forms in this universe and beyond. It is a diverse energy. It is an infinite energy that flows through each and every one of its sentient beings, all created by that creator. It is whole, perfect, and complete, no matter how it looks. And it is simply life moving forward every moment. I am one with that life. I am expansive, I am spacious, and I speak the same for every person in the sanctuary and beyond. Each person with the divine at their core, a part of that divine, a oneness with that divine, walks through this world showing who they are, knowing that goodness is flowing through each and every one of us, creating the wholeness and the unity of the world. I speak for this service this morning a gratefulness that we in this community come together and share the word of love. We share the word of inclusiveness. We share the concept of diversity as one. In the message, in the music, in the prayer, in the announcements, all of the qualities that divine is, joy, beauty, balance, harmony, will be expressed this morning. I give great thanks for this time. I give great thanks for us. And I simply release this word into the law, which always knows and acts as it is directed. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Good morning. My name is Peggy Weber, and I am a prayer practitioner here. Would you please join me in reading the affirmation that's on the board? I celebrate the joy of others, finding delight in our shared experience, and so it is.
Have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love grow. We are family, we're sisters and brothers, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love grow. We are family, we're sisters and brothers, and we carry this love wherever we go. We carry this love. We carry this love everywhere that we go. We carry this love. We carry this love everywhere that we go. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love grow. We are family, we're sisters and brothers, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. Let's hear you, ready? We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love grow. We are family, we're sisters and brothers, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. I said we carry this love. We carry this love everywhere that we go. We carry this love. We carry this love everywhere that we go. Friend. carry this love everywhere that we go. We carry this love. We carry this love everywhere that we go. Last time. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love grow. We are family, we're sisters and brothers, and we carry this love wherever we go.
Oh, thank you very much. Beautiful. Good morning. I love the question Jennifer asked us when she began this morning about how do we respond when we hear good news that other people are experiencing. I've thought about that. How do you respond when you hear, for example, that someone has won the lottery? Yeah, perhaps you feel celebration, but I've heard sometimes people feel envy, maybe even jealousy. Some people feel excluded or left out or disappointed, and other people feel happy. There's a whole range. And how do you react when you hear that somebody gets what they deserve? Right? There is a German word for that, and thank you, Bettina, for reminding me of that word. It's Schadenfreude. Yeah, and, last week I spoke about it. It's the delight that we feel when other people have misfortune. We talked about it in terms of the sharks in our life, who, when we are bleeding, they are delighted because they get to feed, right? Now, today I want to introduce an English word that points to the opposite feeling. Compersion. It's a feeling of delight in another person's pleasure or joy. And that word reminds me of the dolphins in our lives, the people around us who are invested in our well-being, regardless of their personal gain. Now, I encountered this word compersion in my training when I was studying to be a relationship coach, and I was reading a book about attachment theory. And at first, when I read the word, I thought it was a typo. Surely the author meant compassion, but no. It was a real and a new word for me. And it's a word that came into being in the early 1990s because there wasn't a common word in English for the opposite of envy and jealousy. Now, although the word originated in discussions about modern relationship configurations, I find that it is useful and goes further than relationships for me because it can help me become aware of my spiritual nature when it draws my attention to how do I respond when I witness joy and success and happiness in other people, and I didn't have anything to do with creating that. So over time, the word compersion has grown in meaning to something broader. It means something like sympathetic joy. And in Buddhism, there is a similar concept, mudita, which means delight in seeing other people's well-being. The classic example is a parent watching a child's accomplishment, even though the parent is not participating in the accomplishment. One Buddhist teacher calls it an inner spring of happiness and says that the more that we drink from it, the more secure we become in our own joy and the easier it becomes for us to celebrate the joy of others. Now, while envy and jealousy focus on lack and inadequacy, compersion invites us to identify ourselves with joy, whether we caused it or not, and to feel it. We used to have an annual recommitment ceremony right here at the center. Who remembers that? Yeah, on the Sunday closest to Valentine's Day, we would have couples get up and recommit to each other right here in the sanctuary. And you know, people either loved it or hated it. Now, among the people who didn't enjoy it, the most common feedback I received was that some didn't want to witness it happening because it reminded them that they were single, and that made them feel sad. Now, I've had that feeling too, and I had to work with it, and I've had the opportunity to work with other people around it to develop a new perspective. In our teaching Science of Mind, we call that a mental equivalent. It's a way of reframing how you think about and see a situation so that you can achieve a different emotional outcome. In Science of Mind, our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, he teaches that our mental equivalent is the image we have in our mind about something, and it shapes our experience of that something. So it occurred to me that when I celebrate another person's joy, I'm really creating a new mental equivalent of joy for myself, because I'm putting myself into the picture of happiness. And it's a way of announcing to the creative power of the universe, this is welcome in me. It's important because we live in a culture that often trains us to compare ourselves to others and to measure our worth against others. And that comparison lets envy and jealousy creep in quietly. Envy says, I want what you have. Compersion says, I love that for you. It reminds me of a phrase, a very common phrase that we have in our Science of Mind teaching. See the good and praise it. Sometimes people say, see the good and raise it. And that phrase has taught me that when I see good fortune being experienced by other people, to admire that good fortune, to admire it as an energy that I can focus on in myself, so that when I see someone fulfilled or happy, I've learned to say to myself, that's for me too. That energy of fulfillment and joy, I identify with it. I am attractive to it, and it is attractive to me. And I am open to an experience that reflects that energy of fulfillment and satisfaction. I tell myself there is that within me which keeps me focused on what I wish to experience for myself. So I run through that language in my mind. And then the next step is I shift to praising and raising the good I have seen by saying silently to myself, I celebrate joy wherever I see it. I give thanks for the outcome that is the highest good for every individual according to their heart's desire. And then I add, and that includes me. Now, this practice can shift my attitude, especially if I'm feeling a little twinge of jealousy. Now, it doesn't always fix the pain that can go along with jealousy, but it can introduce something. It can open a door of possibilities in my mind, so that rather than confining my world to this judgmental comparison, by raising and praising the joy I see in others, I'm raising it in value in my own consciousness, which tends to pull me forward rather than hold me back. You know, I get held back sometimes by the energy of bitterness, especially when I am focusing on what I don't have. The Buddhist teacher Elizabeth Harris tells a story. It's likely an urban legend. It probably didn't happen, but it's a great story. It's about the famous violinist Itzhak Perlman, who had polio from childhood and would use crutches and braces whenever he performed in public. And it would be obvious when he entered the stage to stand in front of the orchestra that it was quite an effort for him to get there. And then one night, apparently during his performance, he was playing the concerto and a string on his violin suddenly snapped. And the sound was really loud and clear, and I'm certain everyone in that imaginary audience assumed that the concert would have to be interrupted to replace the string on the violin, and someone would have to go and get a new violin, etc. So after the orchestra was stopped by the conductor looked over to Itzhak Perlman to see what he wanted to do, and apparently Itzhak raised a finger as if to request a moment to think it through, closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them and signaled for the conductor to carry on. And the orchestra played again as if they hadn't missed a beat. Only now, Perlman was playing his part on only 3 strings. Now, Elizabeth writes, I don't know whether or not this story actually happened, but I know that in the psychological sense, it's true. The truth of the story is that Itzhak Perlman is showing us more than his attitude towards music. He's showing us his attitude toward life. He knows the undeniable truth that no matter how hard he may work, he will never have it all. There will always be something missing, whether it is a string on the violin or the ability to walk with ease. But just as there always will be something missing, there's always something remaining. Perlman decided to take the attitude that what is left is good and it is enough. And what I take from this story is that compersion is something like that. It's about how I respond to life and to the experience of others. It's about deciding to make music anyway. It's about mindfully putting my attention on what is present by praising it and raising it, rather than putting my attention on what is missing or withheld or gone. I've noticed sometimes I compare my worst moments in life to other people's best moments, forgetting that behind every perfect-looking life experience or social media post, there are real struggles. I remember once I would feel this twinge of envy every time a friend of mine who has a very large family, multiple cousins and nephews and nieces and aunts and whatever, and every time he spoke of reunions or birthdays or anniversaries, I felt that envy. I envied the experience I imagined he was having. I felt left out by life because I don't have family. And when I finally admitted this to him, he laughed and he reminded me of all the drama and the stress and the complications that some large families can produce. And he said, "Are you sure you want it?" And I realized I had glamorized his experience. And I had attached myself to a picture in my mind, a mental equivalent of what I thought his experience was. So this helped me to remember, to pivot again. Time to change the mental equivalent. Don't attach to the form, attach to the feeling. So now when I feel that little twinge of envy in me, I pause and I ask myself, what is the feeling here that I'm longing for? And can I be open to experiencing that feeling in a form that is different from the one that I'm focused on? That way I can take a step back from my envy or jealousy and open to an experience of a form that is best for me, because now I understand that their joy doesn't take away from my life and that my joy may not come in the same form that theirs exists. Spiritually speaking, compersion reminds me of the unconditional nature of the creative power of life, which, like the soil of the earth, doesn't resent me because I planted a tomato instead of a potato. It supports me. And as a spiritual practice, I want to integrate that. I want to live more from that affirmative mindset. I want to think about, what am I rejecting? What am I pushing away in life, and why? So that I can lighten up and find, where in life can I say a more authentic yes? Now, I'm not saying say yes to things that are harmful or dangerous for me. And I'm not saying that there are no boundaries or agreements in relationships or in society. Of course there are. And pretending we're never hurt is not ever going to be helpful, especially if we have unmet needs or dreams that we had to set aside or abandon. No, these need to be tended to. When I think of compersion, I'm not thinking of denying hardships. I'm thinking of connecting with inner joy, that fountain of joy, no matter what is going on. I think of acknowledging my difficult feelings honestly and still choosing to show up for life and make my own music. Let me tell you the story about someone that history almost forgot. A woman named Clara Brown. Clara was born into slavery in Virginia around the 1800s, 1803, I think. And she knew the pain of having everything that mattered torn away from her. Her husband was sold after they had had children together, and her children were scattered, and she never saw most of them again. Then at the age of 54, she inherited her freedom when her enslaver died. And she set out west during the Colorado Gold Rush. And she established herself doing laundry. She worked as a cook. She worked as a midwife. And she prospered there. But in those rough mining towns, she saw all around her others with the very things that she had lost. Intact families, social standing, privilege, security, all the things she had been denied or had ripped away from her. And it would have been very easy for her, even natural, to live in bitterness, to let it harden her heart and her mind. But Clara made a shift in focus. She decided that if she could not have her own family, she would make the whole community her family, regardless of race. She began to use her earnings to help others. She would pay for children's schooling. She helped new settlers start new businesses. She founded and funded churches, Catholic, Baptist, Methodist, didn't matter. She assisted formerly enslaved people who came out like she did to start again. And she celebrated other people's weddings. She celebrated their joys and their successes. She treated their children as if they were her own. And her spirit transformed the town. The people called her Aunt Clara, and she became remembered as the Angel of the Rockies. Clara Brown turned the raw material of grief and loss into something healing and visionary. She proved that when we rejoice in another's joy, we multiply that joy. And the ripples of that choice can bless generations. So, how may we cultivate a spiritual form of compersion in practice? I have 6 ideas I'd like to share with you. And the first one is this: be gently honest with your feelings. That's the first starting place. It's the first point that cannot be rushed over. If you feel a little twinge of jealousy, name it to yourself. You know, if a friend shares some good news or you witness something that you don't feel part of it, acknowledge that you're going through it. It may be signaling to you that something matters deeply to you, and that deserves acknowledgement. Number 2, practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer to a friend. Remind yourself that it's normal to feel the whole range of feelings. Your feelings don't define your spiritual nature, but they do describe your experience. Number 3, take space when needed. If difficult emotions arise, take a step away. Take a step outside into nature. Take a break. Walk away. Take a pause. Reset, renew, step back. Stop explaining and figuring it out. Pause. Step 4. Now you move into celebration. Give thanks for what you have is a good place to start, because gratitude shifts focus from what is missing to what is present, and it has this amazing power to stimulate creative thinking, and it's super attractive. 5, remember and affirm your spiritual identity. Now, last week, the message is available on our website. The video is there, because in it I outline the difference between spiritual identity and your lived experience through your feelings. What I mean by this is know who you are at your core, beyond what you have and don't have, because the more you understand yourself, the less you will be inclined to compare yourself to other people unfavorably. Krishnamurti said that. Number 6, shift envy to admiration. Keeping in mind that this is the last step, not the first step. First step is acknowledge what's going on, and then shift, because now when you see somebody succeed, now you can practice blessing their experience and letting their joy be something that you raise and praise. In the Book of Joy by the Dalai Lama and Bishop Desmond Tutu, they offer a blessing that you can use for when you see other people happy, and it goes like this: I'm happy for this person. This is good for them. Just like me, they want to be happy and provide for their family and be successful. So I rejoice in their good fortune, and I wish them even more. So this week, I invite you to practice a spiritual form of compersion by tuning into and noticing the joy that shines in other people. Look for it. And then let it awaken in you a similar joy, an energy of joy. Let the happiness that you see around you not be a separation between you and them, but rather think of it as part of the same life that is living in you and moving through all that is. I'm confident that when we celebrate each other's good, we are stepping more fully into our own good. So today, and tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after, when you see somebody's light shining, say, that's for me too. Let it warm you, raise it, let it remind you that joy is not a scarce resource, and that happiness in other people is not a threat. It's an invitation to life. So I invite you now to breathe in with me and exhale, letting your eyes close for a moment of spiritual practice. The creative power of life is endless, boundless, radiant, whole. It is joy itself. It is life celebrating itself in infinite expressions. It is the source of everything. It is the giver of all. It is the one life shining through all things. It is everywhere persistently delighting in its own creation. I recognize that I am an expression of this creative power, as is each person here. Its joy flows through me as my joy, as naturally as breath. Its love fills my heart as my own love and extends beyond me. This one life is my life now. I realize that the joy of the infinite that is in me is filling me and lifting me and flowing through me, allowing me to welcome the happiness of others as part of my own. We are inseparably one in the wholeness of spirit. Every blessing, every celebration, every success is mine to cherish. For I live in this unity of divine love. This allows me to celebrate the good that shows up everywhere. I rejoice. I realize rejoicing is natural and easy to me. And as I celebrate joy, joy increases in my own life. I'm filled with gratitude for this realization. My heart is joyous and open and accepting and alive. And with this acceptance, I release my word into the action of the creative power, which we call the law, which fulfills it in my experience. And I invite you to seal this prayer with me by saying together, and so it is, followed by a deep breath and a sigh. And as we use this movement of breath to make the transition to the part of our service where we practice one of the practices Jennifer read with us, the law of circulation. That's where we support our center financially, but where we also take time to think about all the other ways that we are blessed by each other's presence, by the presence of our just being together in community, by the prayers we give on behalf of our community that we receive from the community. It's a cyclical, mutually beneficial practice. Oh, I nearly forgot before we have the offering. If you would like a copy of the Spiritual Mind Treatment, I have copies of it with me, and I'll be standing outside next to the statue of Saraswati, and that's my way of getting you to come and say hello to me so you can pick up your Spiritual Mind Treatment. And now with that in mind, I ask the ushers to stand as you prepare your gift to the center, perhaps placing your hand on your chest as a symbol of your connection, your heart connection to your center, and say after me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
guide my day, open my heart to live your way. Teach me to hear your voice, open my mind to the freedom of choice. Take it a trail. Open my heart to live your way. Teach me to hear your voice, open my mind to the freedom of choice.
Hello, I'm back. I have announcements. And the first one is about something special that's happening this very day at 1 o'clock. And here's Reverend Tara Steele to tell you what it is.
Hey, good morning. I am super excited about what we're going to be doing this afternoon from 1 to 3. We talk a lot about our teaching at the center. We don't always have time to practice it together. And that's what we'll be doing this afternoon. There's an assumption that I bring to this workshop that every single one of us has had moments of mystery, what's called sparks of awareness. And that those moments, when we share them, build and are enhanced by the community. So come and practice, talk about things, laugh, be tender. I look forward to seeing you. It's in person, and Jennifer will give you details, and I'll be outside after.
Thank you. So it will be in Wagner Hall, right over here, 1 o'clock. But if you want to register at the door, please be sure to arrive about 15 minutes early so we can get you all set up for this practice. You know, one of the goals of spiritual study is to develop resiliency during challenging times, if you've heard of those. So, Reverend Scioto Bell is teaching consciousness and the creative process. And in it, you will learn to tap into the power, for strength and creativity to weather hardships. The class starts Tuesday, August 26th on Zoom. You may want to get in on that. You know, there are 9 numbers in the Enneagram, each one illustrating a different way we prefer to interact with the world. This number also helps us know what our gifts are and where we have an opportunity to grow. This and more is what you will learn in Kathy Galvin's upcoming class, Enneagram, Map of the Soul. Class starts Thursday, September 4th. Only to the extent that we expose ourselves over and over to the annihilation can that which is indestructible be found in us. Now, that's a quote that I stumbled on, but it's a quote from Pema Chodron's book, When Things Fall Apart. Jan Svoboda's class, by the same name, is on Saturday, September 6th, and it explores how to embrace the struggles of life supported by the Spirit within you. I like the sound of that. Now, education catalogs are available right now at the information desk, and they're also on our website. This catalog has a complete list of all our classes, and you can sign up for everything on our website, including a scholarship for the Consciousness and Creative Process class. Please be sure to sign up for Consciousness and the Creative Process today so we can send you the Zoom link in time for the class. So one of our nonprofit partners is the Living Room. And next week is the last week that you may bring in items to donate to the Living Room. There's a little flyer at the info desk that tells you what they are looking for and needing. But it's items like clothing, toiletries, and household items. So please pick up a flyer and see what you have at home that you might bring next week. Now, if you would like to be part of a small, intimate spiritual discussion group, consider Circles for Spiritual Connection. Starting this week, these groups are about building connections through spiritual practice and discussion. You can sign up online or at the info table, and our lead facilitator, Chris Kelly, will get you in touch with available groups. We also have a brand new young adult group for our young adults. And Sharing Our Bounty is back on Sunday, September 21st. This year, we are emphasizing plants, plant starts, seeds, and flowers. Of course, edible plants are welcome too, but bring your plants to share and take home whatever grabs your eye. Everything there is free. Finally, Reverend Russ invites you to join him at the final Spirit Walk of the year at Sugarloaf Ridge State Park, Saturday, September 6th on the Meadow Trail, meeting by the observatory parking lot at 9 a.m. Please bring your friends or make new ones there and share in conversation while we take in the beauty of Sonoma County. You can sign up online so Reverend Russ will know that you are coming. I want to thank you for being part of our community. You know, but the community doesn't end right after this service on Sunday. You can join us in person also every single Wednesday evening at the Wednesday evening service at 7 p.m. for more music, spirituality, and community. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. Jennifer has been coming to the center longer than I have. I want to say another welcome to our guests. And we have guests from Kansas City. Welcome. Thank you for being here today. And we look forward to seeing all of you again. Oh, by the way, you know, we're in the quiet phase of our capital campaign to raise funds for our roof. And I mentioned last week that we have a matching pledge from members of our center who said up until the end of September, they'll match all gifts given up until $10,000. So that means any amount that you give, $5, $10, whatever, is going to be worth double right now until through the end of September. So I think I'm going to start wearing a raincoat when I stand outside there at Saraswati to remind you to throw some cash our way to help us raise the funds. I don't mind telling you we're up to $140,000. So we're getting there. So we need everything we can do to keep the momentum going. We've got some time to do it, but just keep in mind that deadline is September the 30th for our matching pledge. I'll be at Saraswati with the spiritual mind treatment and my hand open too. Change and cash, all welcome. I should sell cars, huh? Our member Daniel Celador taught me a lot about selling things and walking in nature too. Okay, I'm rambling because I'm trying to remember what is it I do next?
You asked
Oh, the benediction, right. If there is something that is incomplete in you, or if you cried yourself to sleep last night, please do not go home that way. Or if you've got something in your life you just want to celebrate with more spiritual support, take advantage of our prayer practitioner service online. You can get the website from our website, get the link from our website. There's a private Zoom room that you can go to. Here in person, go to the back and the host will connect you with a prayer partner and they will speak a spiritual mind treatment, which is our form of prayer, personally tailored to your needs. There you go, I remembered. And now won't you stand saying something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it. Just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you're guided, sustained, and inspired by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. Thank you so much for being here today. Let's close in song.
I am a prayer for peace. Wherever I go, peace goes with me. I feel peace inside, and every breath, peace abides. I know the joy of peace. I choose me to release. Every moment, love wakes up, and peace is every step. I am a prayer for peace. Wherever I go, peace goes with me. I feel peace inside. With every breath, peace abides. I know the joy of peace. I choose to release. Every moment, love wakes up, and peace is every step.